questions.
Thank you, Chairman, for holding this hearing, and thank you, Admiral, for being here. I mean, just to piggyback off the Chairman, this is the committee that wants to make sure you have all the tools to be successful. My team knows that, they put the binder together, and oftentimes I don't even use any of the notes, right? I create my own questions. Not today, right? Today, for all the staffers out there, I'm going to read word for word what I've been given. And the reason being is I just got back from a trip from Japan where I met with the Prime Minister, and he brought up Alaska, which I thought was interesting. So my question to you, Admiral, is this. As we work to ensure Coast Guard is on track to meet the President's objectives to expand our fleet and strengthen our maritime presence, we have a need to make sure that we have the infrastructure necessary to meet these goals, especially as we work to enhance our presence in the Arctic. It is my understanding that plans to develop United States' first deep water Arctic port in Nome, Alaska was further delayed last year due to the Army Corps' cancellation of solicitation due to cost overruns. In my view, it is critical that we stay diligent in ensuring we move to build the infrastructure we need to be able to dock our military assets and catch up with the increasing presence of Russia and Chinese in Arctic waters. Admiral, can you speak to how the Coast Guard would utilize a fully developed deep water port in Alaska for operations in the Arctic?
Congressman, we are the principal surface operational fleet for the United States in the Arctic region, and we're permanently based in Alaska. As to a permanent deep water port in Nome or on the north coast, we've been looking at that issue and working with the Corps of Engineers. I want to make sure I get you the most coordinated answer back along with the Corps of Engineers, including that latest information, which I did not have. So I'd like to follow up with a briefing or with that for the record, sir.
Okay, that'd be great. And here's a little softer of a question. Can you further expand on the strategic importance of having the Arctic port in Alaska as it relates to the Arctic security?
Well, sir, Alaska is what makes us an Arctic nation. And so our Coast Guard's strong presence, permanent presence that's based out of there is very important for our operations there. And ensuring the control, secure, and defense of our border in and around Alaska as well. We're going to be adding a permanent new asset up there in the coming years. In fact, this is the new commercially available icebreaker, what will be the Storis. It will sail on the 1st of June through the canal and up into the Gulf of Alaska above the Arctic Circle. It will do operations. It will eventually be home ported in Juneau, which will be part of its permanent home port once that's complete. And so we're continuing to increase our footprint there. That's one of many assets that as we do modernization, will be moving up to be permanently assigned in Alaska.
Thank you for that. We often talk about these in broad strokes, but, this is the Appropriations Committee. This is where we want to know the details, where we want to know what specific needs that you may have as you work with the DHS Secretary and the administration to work on that. My final question is this. Does the Coast Guard anticipating needing access to additional deep water ports in the Arctic as it increases operations in the region?
Congressman, I don't have any specific needs identified at this point, but I'll take your question back and we'll give you a more complete answer because that's an important answer as we look at our future force structure and force posture in Alaska as part of the Arctic.
Well, thank you for your testimony today. And once again, I look forward to working together. Certainly our committee looks forward to working with you as well. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Admiral, it's our job as